saying to myself silently in my head, "You're a fat, disgusting pig. Who's ever gonna love you?" And I know it probably wasn't the first time that I'd spoken to myself like that, definitely not, but it was the first time I actually heard what I said, Vivienne, and it hit me really hard. Like it hit me in my heart, and I think it's because for the first time I realized that first of all, those were my father's words, and that I had run away from my family and from my culture and the entire continent, and here I was on the other side of the planet, but still abusing myself with the same words.
Welcome back to the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. In today's episode, it is bold, raw, and honestly, a little bit disruptive. I'm so excited to introduce to you my next guest for episode 86, the incredible Marleen Mour, best-selling author of The Power of Self-Love, speaker, and founder of FittHeroes. At just 19, Marleen made a life-changing decision to walk away from everything she knew, and from a place of self-loathing, emotional eating, and struggle, she transformed her life through self-love, losing 49 kilograms and completely redefining what weight loss really means. Today, she's leading a powerful movement, challenging the diet industry and helping women break free from the cycle of restriction, shame, and starting over. If you ever struggle with your body, your self-worth, or feel stuck in that cycle, this episode is going to speak straight to your heart. Let's dive into episode 86 with the incredible Marleen Mour. Hi Marleen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. I'm very excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have this conversation with you. And once again, congratulations to be one of the top 3 winners in the next top speakers over the weekend. How do you feel about it, Marleen?
Oh, I was not expecting it at all. There was over 4,000 competitors, and I would have been happy just to make top 100, to be honest. But I was very, very excited and very honored to see that my talk touched so many hearts and made people even tear up and cry. So that was a great experience.
Oh, I was definitely one of them, and I have to turn off the camera so that I have to wipe my tears away. So thank you so much for your inspiring stories, which we are sure going to hear a little bit about that. So Marleen, one of the first questions that I always ask my podcast guests is that despite all the hats that you're wearing, you are a mom, you are a speaker, you are a coach, you are a leader as well. So despite all the label that you have, who is Marleen at your core?
Ooh, Marleen's a little girl at her core. She's just a young, excited child who is in love with life and excited by connecting with other people. And I just really value love. Love is like, I even found out that the hormone my body produces the most of is oxytocin, which is associated with love. So I'm just love, 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 love. I love cuddles. I love physical touch. I love connection. And yeah, I think that's just who I am.
I love that she is so beautiful. I always see Marleen typing in the chat when we're on the Zoom. She's always so supportive, and I love her energy. She's always come across to us on the screen with a big smile. Thank you so much for sharing that, Marleen.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Like we just mentioned, we heard about Marleen's story in the next top speakers, and I was privileged enough to listen to that stories a few times, which her journey started was like when she was 19. One of the stories that's very profound that I remember clearly as well. You actually started the journey, like maybe go back to the 19 years old. Maybe you can share with them more in depth. What I know is that you ran away from Egypt at the age of 19 with only $200. Do you want to take us back on this journey a little bit, Marleen?
Yes, absolutely. This is going back quite a few chapters of my life, but I grew up in Egypt in a household with a very conservative Christian father who was very, very controlling, very angry as well. He resented my mom a lot because she earned more than him, and it really affected his manhood. And there was just a lot of anger in the house, especially towards my mom. And growing up with that much tension in the household and seeing my mom abused and not being able to protect her, all of that really negatively impacted me emotionally, as you can imagine. And on top of that, we moved around a lot. My dad was a diplomat, so we moved schools, countries, homes every couple of years. So I was always the new kid at the school. And at a very young age, I had no idea how to deal with all the difficult emotions, as you can imagine. I don't really know how to even express them or how to even name the emotion that we're feeling. And so Mum, bless her soul, would see that I'm visibly upset, and she'd bake me something delicious to eat. That was her, act of love. And I think that's very common in a lot of cultures. So from a young age, I learned the habit of eating when I was feeling sad, scared, lonely, unworthy, sad, any of those emotions. My response would be to turn to food. And for a long time, food felt like my best friend, like my only friend, the only thing I could rely on. But of course, that led to a weight problem. And I addressed that the same way most women do, starving myself. And I did lose probably about 25 of the 49 kilos around the age of 19, just by starving myself and excessively exercising. But when I lost the weight, what happened was somebody came and proposed, asked for my hand in marriage for my dad. And my dad said yes. And I did not actually want to be getting engaged, especially to this person. I had met this person at university, and he had already dislocated my shoulder in an argument before. And I kind of knew then and there that my future was going to be a repeat of my mom's life. I saw firsthand as her daughter what she'd gone through. And I knew that I needed to do something drastic if I was going to change the entire trajectory of my life. Now, luckily, we had come to Australia when I was like between the age of 4 and 9. So I had good memories here. And so when it came time to leave Egypt, this was the first place that came to mind. I'm going to Australia. And I remember the day that I made the decision. My dad was home. I woke up in the morning. I walked to the front door. I just placed my hand on the doorknob. He said, "Where do you think you're going?" And I said, "I'm just going for a walk around the block." And he said, "Did you ask?" And I said, "Can I go for a walk around the block?" And he said, "No, go to your room." And I said, "Can I know why?" This was me having courage when I said that. "Can I know why?" And he gave me the death stare that he gives, and he yelled, and he said, "Because I said so, go into your room." And I went to my room, I slammed the door out of anger, and he came in. Of course, you're not allowed to express any feelings. He pushed me to the ground, spat on me, told me I'd never amount to anything. And in that moment, as I was laying there on the ground, filled with so much rage, I just extended my leg and kind of kicked him in the crotch. And he fell on the ground, and I got up and I ran out. And that was the last time that I saw my dad. Luckily, he went on a business trip after that. Not on a business trip, he actually lived in a different country and would come to Egypt for a while. But he was gone for the next 3 months, and I decided I'm going to Australia. Meanwhile, our passports were locked away in his safe, and we weren't allowed to work. And he would always wait until we run out of money before we'd send any more. So I didn't really know how it was going to happen. I just knew that it was going to happen. I kind of made a decision. I'm going to Egypt, to Australia. And surely enough, in the next few days, Vivienne, I found out or was given an opportunity to enter a competition. And I entered the competition and I won first prize, which gave me $2,000 US in cash. And I spent maybe about 4 to 6 weeks just making secret visits to the Australian embassy, proving that I'm Australian, getting a new passport, and then getting a flight. And I remember speaking to my mom and urging her, begging her, "Mom, let's go. Like, you've been wanting to go. Let's go, let's go." But she was just terrified of what my father would do if she left and took my younger brother, because he's the only one in the entire extended family carrying the family name. That's a big deal for us as Egyptians. So she was terrified. She didn't want to leave. She even called a priest to come to the house and talk to me about honoring your parents and respecting your parents' wishes. But I had already kind of made up my mind. I had my passport, I had my plane ticket. And eventually, Mom came around and she said, "Okay, I'll come with you." And she called her brother here in Australia, and he offered to get her plane tickets. So I was under the assumption that, great, like, we're all gonna get the heck out of here. Like, I'm leaving this week. Mom and everybody else will follow me in a couple of weeks. But the night of my flight, Mom panicked, freaked out, changed her mind about everything without me knowing. I found out as I was headed to the front door and realized that the doors were dead bolted shut. This is a 4th floor apartment, and she was nowhere to be found. And only when my friend came to pick me up did he call me and tell me, your mother's just sitting in the stairwell. Like, she's sitting right outside the front door on the stairs. She'd been there for 4 hours, just waiting until my flight takes off without me. Afraid to face me as well, understandably so. And when she came through the doors, I literally pushed her aside and grabbed my suitcase and just stormed down all 4 flights of stairs, got into my car because my friend had left by then, and I drove like my life depended on it to the airport, knowing pretty damn well the flight's probably taken off already. But I got there and I didn't care where I parked the car. I just got out, ran inside, and surely enough, they confirmed. They were like, we're sorry, like it's gone. So I dragged my suitcase back to the car and I sobbed in the car. I just knew I'm not going back. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I can't go back home now. So I called the airline and I told them that I had a flat tire and I missed my flight. And they were very good. They said, well, there's another flight tomorrow that you can go on, and it will just cost you, I can't remember how much dollars it was, but I gave them that money, and then I remember having less than $200 left to my name. And I went to the airport the next day, walked through the front doors, and who's there? My mom with my dad's brother. So my mom's very smart. She called the airline. She found out when the next flight is. She assumed I'm going to try to attempt the next flight. And she came to the airport. So I walked in and I saw them maybe about 100 meters away. We made eye contact. And immediately my friend said, good luck, I'll be waiting outside. I hope you don't come back outside, but I'll be there waiting for a couple of hours. And my uncle came straight up to me and grabbed me by the shoulders, and he shook me in Arabic. He said, what the hell do you think you're doing? And I said, I'm getting the hell out of here. And he said, no, you're not. And he took my suitcase and he walked off with it. And I stood there with my little computer bag on my shoulder, and all I had in my computer bag was not even a laptop. It just had my passport, my official documents, some extra socks and some undies. And I remember just looking at that bag on my shoulder and thinking, you know what? This is all I need. Like, I don't really need the clothes. So while he stormed off in one direction, I thought, fine. And I walked in the opposite direction to the gate, took out my hard-earned Australian passport and handed it to the guard. And as the guard was looking through my passport, my uncle came up behind me without me noticing, snatched the passport out of his hand and said to him in Arabic, I'm her legal guardian and she's not allowed to leave. And he walked away with my passport. Now, I don't know how these words fell out of my mouth, Vivienne, but they just fell out. But I looked up at the guard and I said to him in English, I said, I don't know who that man is. And you just gave him my passport. I said, you better get it back, otherwise you're going to lose your job. It's an Australian passport. So he ran after him. He got back my passport. He said to him, that law does not apply to her because it's not an Egyptian passport, it's Australian. I got my passport back and I went in. I got my boarding pass and I came back to the gate because I wanted to say goodbye to my mom. My little brother was there as well. He was only like 8 years old. He was quite young to be watching all of this. And I went back to the gate because I wanted to say goodbye to my mom. But as I got to the gate, my uncle stood in front of the gate and kind of leaned in over the threshold, and he whispered, he said, you're going to be in so much trouble when you get back. And I remember just all this rage just bubbling up inside me. And with his face about this close to me, Vivienne, I just looked him dead in the eyes and I said, I hope it's okay to swear. I said, fuck you, fuck your family, and fuck your culture. And I turned to my mom, who was standing beside him, and obviously I wasn't in the same loving energy anymore. So instead of telling her I love you, I said, are you going to give me back my suitcase? And she said, no. And I said, fine, but you're never going to see me again. And I turned around to walk away. And then I heard her call out. She said, wait. She said, come take your suitcase.
Oh.
Yeah, she wanted to make sure she sees me again. Yeah. And I remember getting on the flight, I was shaking. My entire nervous system was just, everything was shaking. And I even had random people come up to me. Who was that crazy guy that was yelling? Yeah. But I got on that flight and I made it here to Sydney, Australia. And luckily my grandmother was here. She's passed now. But I moved in with her, and within 2 weeks I had 3 jobs. I was working 7 days a week. And in about 3 months I had my own little studio apartment, and yeah, the rest is history. I lost.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's so dramatic, Marleen. It's like, wow, I'm just listening to you. I'm just watching like a movie, like chasing in the airports when there's like stories in the movies exactly happen to you. Wow.
Maybe one day they'll make a movie.
Yes, you should make a movie out of this, the story of Marleen. And yes, that took so much courage for you to do something like that at the age of 19. And it's I don't know how to express that. It's so much more than it's aside from courage, it's also a lot of the weight in your heart at the time was, I can't even imagine that as well.
I cried myself to sleep every night for about 6 months, Vivienne. Like, I was very good at keeping myself distracted during the day with work. And sometimes I wouldn't finish till 11 p.m. at night. I'd come home, and the moment I'd walk through those doors to an empty apartment, it would just hit me that I'm here all alone and that I don't have any more family and I don't have anyone to fall back on. And it was always too much to sit with. Yeah.
And your grandma is your mom's side or your dad's side?
On my mom's side. My dad's entire side of the family is in Egypt. Yeah.
Wow. So she's here. And after that, your dad didn't think of coming here to grab you or something like that?
Actually, now that you mention it, yes, he did come back. So actually, I did see him one more time. He actually came to Australia, found out where we were, came to the house, and I remember he punched me. And I remember telling him, like, you're in Australia now. I was like, you can't do this anymore. I said to him, I'm going to call the cops. I said, if you punch me again, I said, and you'll be like banned from the country forever. That was the last time that I saw him. Actually, yes, that was the last time. But I did speak to him a couple of days before he passed. I don't know if he had a bit of an inkling. Nobody knew, of course. He seemed to be in good health. It was sudden. But he called me and he said to me, I want to have a relationship with you. And I remember having the courage to tell him, like, yes, I want a relationship. I've always wanted a relationship with you, but not on your terms. Yeah, I still get to be an adult. I still get to make my own decisions. And he actually agreed. And the last thing we said to each other was, I love you. And then 2 days later, he passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Wow, thank you so much for sharing something so vulnerable, Marleen. It's so much to take on. It wasn't, you've been through a lot, and I think it's quite obvious that when people towards the end of their life, they started to realize or started to get the regrets of what have they done in their life, right? And that's the example for your dad, that he wanted to have a better relationship with his daughter. So it's always a good reminder for us to love when we can, to treasure when we can, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's so much, such a big journey that you had there, Marleen. And yeah.
You know what, though? I feel like, and I want to say this for all your listeners as well, for anybody who's gone through a difficult time with their parents, is that since my dad passed, I have chosen to believe that he is no longer restricted by his body. So he's free from his body, and he's also free from his ego. And so ever since my father passed, I've been speaking to him more than I ever did when we were alive. I still send him emails from time to time. I mean, I know he's not actually getting them, but sometimes when I have something on my heart I want to share, I still send him emails, and I still talk to him. But I believe now that he listens without his ego in the way. He understands now, being free from his, human form, the full picture. And he loves me. Do you know what I mean? And wishes that he did things differently. That's my belief now, that he's up there and I can speak to him anytime.
That's so beautiful. It's so true. And I love that you get to see that in this way as well. And I know that you are doing a lot of big things nowadays, Marleen, and you have so many great missions that you are helping with people. And I think this come from your own journey and experience. Can you tell us a little bit Now, what are some of the mission or what are the things that you are doing at the moment helping your clients and to be that leaders in your industry?
My biggest mission at the moment is to unravel the diet industry, because I know the diet industry has like more than 10x its income over the last 10 years. And yet obesity rates have doubled. And as somebody who used to listen to the diet industry and follow the recommendations of the diet industry and the diets and the pills and the shakes, and got fatter than I ever had been listening to them, it's one of my major missions and passions right now to help women learn how to completely ditch diets and look the best they have ever looked. And that's essentially what my self-love for permanent weight loss program is all about. It's about making permanent weight loss easy, like it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be as complicated as they told us it is.
Yeah, that's such a great and powerful mission. Permanent weight loss, it's actually quite bold and disruptive in the industry. That's a very bold and disruptive concept as well. So can you walk us through what are actually your deeper message that you're trying to send, especially for women who you have been through as well? You know that women has probably spent through money, time, and decades dieting, but they still feel broken because of this so-called yo-yo diet.
Yes. I think my deeper message, and I say this to my clients often, I say to them, you're not going to love yourself when you lose weight. You're going to lose weight when you love yourself. So my program is all about helping women heal their relationship with their bodies, heal their relationship with food so that they're not going to extremes, so they're not denying themselves things and saying, starting tomorrow, I'm never eating chocolate again. You're definitely going to eat chocolate again. You're definitely going to drink wine again. We want you to. So it's about helping them get rid of this diet mentality of going to extremes and self-punishment and over-restriction, only to end up on the other end of the spectrum binging and regaining all the lost weight plus more. So this is really a journey of self-love. It's learning how to work with your unique body instead of listening to all the generic information out there and trying to force your body to do something that's not right for it. But it's also learning to create balance in your life so that things are sustainable. So you still go out and eat that pizza with your girlfriends or have the cheesecake and the wine. And the biggest thing I would say is the focus on teaching women how to process their difficult emotions rather than eating their difficult emotions. Because that's one of the major reasons women struggle to get the weight off or inevitably regain it the minute things get tough in life. Is difficult emotions arise, like I mentioned to you with myself back in the day, and they turn to the food or the alcohol or some sort of self-sabotage pattern instead of learning how to love themselves in that moment.
Wow, there's a lot more work to be done for the women that you're helping as well. It's like definitely it's in a deeper level, so it's not something external. It's not about the pills. It's not about all this exercise. Looks like it's more internal work that you have been helping them.
Yes, emotional work, psychological work, and then literally looking at their like genetic makeup to help them understand what their body was designed for and what their body responds best to, so that they could just align. And when they do, they get results way faster than any other extreme diet they'd put themselves on, which wasn't actually for them. So the weight to come off, like my goal for women is to cross weight off the damn list. Do you know how many years women spend dieting? Like a total of 17 years. If you add up all the months of dieting, 17 years total of our lives. But if you look at the average woman, she'll diet from like age 20 all the way to age 70 before she gives up, and most of them gain more weight over that period. So it's really consuming us. It's stopping us from focusing on other bigger goals. You know what I mean? And I would love for women to cross this off the bloody list so they can move on to their real life goals.
Amazing. Yeah, I think your message and your work is so much needed for all the women out there, and I really appreciate you for sharing and on this mission helping more women out there.
Yeah.
So you've been through so much in your life, and then obviously you mentioned about burnout, you mentioned about people pleasing at the age of 19 with your family and your cultures throughout this journey. So all this has been quite a journey for you. But out of all this, what is that exact moment that you knew that something had to be changed? And when is that aha moment, a pivotal moment that you decided to start this journey that you are currently on?
The weight loss?
Whether weight loss journey, whether to be decide on this mission. So were you the weight loss, was that started? When was that started?
So the actual proper weight loss, where I lost it through self-love, not self-punishment, and lost it all, never to be regained again, that was probably about 14 years ago. So
that was in Australia, right? That was when you came to Australia.
Yeah, so that would have been like my late 20s when I lost all the weight. And I remember when I fell pregnant, I remember panicking that, oh no, like all the women in my family have put on significant amounts of weight after. And so I really made it my mission to look better after giving birth than I ever did before. And I did. And that's where I won the Australian National Bikini Champion Model gold medal 6 times in a row. And I think that's when I realized that I had something that I meant to share. That this wasn't something just for me. It was almost like a message from God that was like, I let you go through all these struggles, but not in vain. And like now you have the solution, like the real solution, not some magic diet or some pill, like the actual heart, mind solution to this. And it was just this very clear message that this is not just for you. Do you know what I mean? Like I've given you this message, but it's not just for you. You're supposed to share it. And COVID lockdown happened like immediately after. So it just aligned so perfectly. It was like God and the universe and everybody was like, oh, you don't have time? Here's some time. You know, just shut everything down. Now you got time. Set up this business. And even when I put together this program, though, as you know, as a speaker and coach and author yourself, that I was still hesitant. I still thought, like, who's going to listen to me? Like, who am I for anyone to listen to me? And I had all these fears as well about what my family would think, because they knew me as somebody overweight. Yeah, sure, I lost it. But in their mind, they'd always known me as somebody overweight. Why is Marleen trying to teach people how to lose weight now? So I had all these fears and doubts in my mind that were holding me back from actually launching. So my program was there, but I wasn't launching. Until I joined with a business coach who asked me directly straight out in front of maybe like 1,000 people. He said, what's stopping you? And I said, well, you know, I want to make weight loss about self-love. I said, but not many people really understand self-love yet. It sounds a bit vague. I said, maybe I should wait until like it's mainstream and then I can jump on the bandwagon. And it was just silence for a moment. Like a, you know, like awkward silence. He just looked at me and then he went, why not you be the first? And that just landed. It just landed somewhere and I thought about it and I was like, yeah, why not? Why am I waiting to jump on somebody else's bandwagon? And so I decided, yeah, you know what? I'm going to be the founder of Self-Love for Permanent Weight Loss. And I launched. And yeah, it's been a beautiful experience since, but definitely there was fears and doubts and should I and will anybody even care and who am I? Fears we go through.
Wow, that's so beautiful. And I love the question that your coach was asking, why not you? And
yeah, why not?
And since then you be that pioneer of starting something like this. But another question that I'm curious, Marleen, for that time when you decided to lose weight, what is the push or what is the pull for you to decide? Because to decide, it's not easy as well.
No, it's not easy. Well, I spent about a decade of my life saying I'm going to lose weight like most women do. Do you know what I mean? Like every Monday, I'm starting a diet today, right? Next Monday. Yeah. So I did that for a whole decade of my life where I wanted to lose weight. But the reason that I wanted to lose the weight was because I felt ugly and unworthy. And I thought that if I lost the weight, that then I would be worthy. So it was coming from a place of unworthiness and almost like punishment, like you're fat, ugly, human being and you need to lose weight sort of thing. So yes, I had been talking about it for a decade and efforting, but the issue was it was all stemming from self-loathing, not self-love. So my major breakthrough was after I'd lost 25 of the 49 kilos, I was eating a lot healthier. Like I'd stopped eating sugar, but I was still binging because I was still over-restricting, not eating enough during the day. And then nighttime I'd come home and I'd have a bucket of oats with peanut butter. And I remember waking up after one of those massive binges and just feeling really disgusting. I'm not sure if you've ever binged before. Hopefully some of your listeners know what I'm talking about. I woke up feeling so disgusting and so sick, like literally sick in my body, and not wanting to be seen by anybody and feeling completely out of control. And like I let myself down and I'm a failure. And the last thing I wanted to do was go to work. And I remember getting up and just seeing my reflection in the mirror. And I remember saying to myself silently in my head, "You're a fat, disgusting pig. Who's ever gonna love you?" And I know it probably wasn't the first time that I'd spoken to myself like that, definitely not, but it was the first time I actually heard what I said, Vivienne. And it hit me really hard, like it hit me in my heart. And I think it's because for the first time I realized that first of all, those were my father's words, and that I had run away from my family and from my culture and the entire continent. And here I was on the other side of the planet, but still abusing myself with the same words. And I remember recognizing in that moment that the person that I was speaking to like that was like a little 8-year-old me. And like that's the age that she felt unloved, and since then she's been looking to be loved. And that I was here abusing her, telling her that she's a fat, disgusting pig and that nobody's ever gonna love her. And it broke me. And I remember I fell to my knees on the ground and I literally wrapped my arms around myself because it's like I saw her inside me. And I knew that all she wanted was just to be loved. Even the whole weight loss was an attempt to be loved. And so I saw all that in that moment, and I just wrapped my arms around her and I just said, "I'm so sorry." And I said, "I promise I'm gonna learn how to love you now." Because I realized in that moment that everything that I was doing was abuse. That the over-restriction, the starving myself, and then beating myself up when I'd eat a biscuit, "Oh, you're a failure, I knew you'd fail, you're a loser, you're never gonna amount to anything." And I realized that my relationship with myself was the problem. So I realized then that my relationship with myself, my relationship with food was the problem. It wasn't the food. It was my relationship with myself. And from that day, I quit diets and I started learning what it is to just love yourself and be there for yourself. And what it means and feels like to honor your own hunger. I'm hungry, I eat. Whereas in the past, I'd feel the hunger and I'd say, "Oh, you probably shouldn't eat. You ate too much yesterday. Maybe you should skip this meal," only to get home and binge. So I started just doing the opposite of what I'd always done. And when that hunger cue would come on, I'd start honoring it and I'd feed myself. And I'd stop when I'm full, not when I'm in a food coma. So just learning little things about what it means to love yourself and what it means to be there for yourself when you're going through those difficult emotions was a game changer for me. Because in the past, any difficult emotions, as I mentioned, chocolate would come out, cereal would come out, ice cream would come out, right? Melted cheese would come out. So it was a big journey of me having to pause in those moments and ask myself, what is it that you really need? Because I realized that food has no ability to emotionally soothe me or anyone. So it was learning to literally be there for myself and ask myself, what is it that you really need right now? And it wasn't actually food. And since I started learning to ask myself that question and actually give myself what I need, the reliance on the food has disappeared. I don't think about food anymore unless I'm hungry. Yeah, very, very different.
Wow, so powerful. I want to wrap my hand around that 8 years old Marleen. That is
right.
such a beautiful moment that you have that realization and you started doing what you're doing now and helping more people. And I think that's so common for a lot of people out there, and there are a lot of women especially struggling. I think it's not only women, it's men struggling with that same problems as well. And yeah, you got such a big mission there, Marleen. I love that.
Yes, we want people to stop blaming themselves and their bodies and to love themselves and get the result.
Wow.
The other thing I want your listeners to know is I believe this as well. There was a time back in the day when the diet industry was famous out there to say, oh, that's unrealistic. Oh, size 8, that's unrealistic, right? But that's another one of their massive lies. It is not unrealistic for your body to return to the way God intended for it to look, right? Our bodies are beautifully designed, and they're strong, and they're flexible, and they're like capable of moving. They're designed to be tools for us in this life, not prisons. And I hear a lot of women saying things like, oh, it's unrealistic now. I'll never look like that again. If you looked like that before, you can look like that again.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I can't wait to for people to reach out to you to get to know more how you can help them. So I think you got such a powerful tools and program out there that's helping many people. So where can these people find you online, Marleen?
They can find me very easily on Facebook or Instagram just by typing in my first name and last name, Marleen Mour, which I'm sure you'll have there in the description for them. If they want to actually talk to me about the program and see whether or not it's the right fit, they can go to FittHeroes.com. But if they're looking for more info, which I always recommend, come to one of the free masterclasses, wrap your brain around the 3 keys to permanent weight loss, then jump on a call with me so that I know that you know what this journey is going to be about. So however they want to reach out, yes, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll get the links from Marleen later and include that in the description. You can reach out to her and find out more how she can help you, or maybe to learn more about Marleen's stories as well. Thank you so much for sharing with us your journey, your stories. It's warmed my heart. And again, even though I have heard the stories a few times before, it still touched my heart so much. And I think today's is a deeper levels of the understanding about Marleen. Thank you so much for that, Marleen.
Thanks.
So I'm very well aware of the time. I believe that Marleen has so much more to share with us, but I think it's I don't want to take too much of her time as well. So before we wrap up today's conversation, Marleen, I really want to thank you for your mission and your journey, and then your vulnerabilities in the things that you just shared. What is your one piece of advice for all the women out there who probably looking to rise as well in a deeper alignment on within themselves and their outer world? What is your one piece of message for them out there?
Well, I heard this quote in somebody's speech over the last weekend, and it really stuck with me, that one of the major regrets people have on their deathbed is not having lived their life according to what they want, but according to everyone else. So I think my message to all of the women who are listening today would be, life is too short not to live it for you. Everybody has their own life. Everybody's getting to choose how to live their own life. Give yourself permission to also choose what you want, and don't be afraid of disappointing other people, because actually this is my tip. My tip for you is be more afraid of disappointing yourself than disappointing others.
Wow, that's so powerful. And life is too short to do things that is regretting to you. And look at Marleen, she's been taking that courageous step to be who she is today. And thank you so much, Marleen, and thank you so much for your time. Is there anything that you would like me to ask that I haven't asked yet, Marleen?
No, I just want to say thank you for this platform that you created and for how you bring us on here to share our stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for you to share with us. And I believe that your message is going to empower many people out there. And it's definitely inspired and empowered me today. Thank you so much, Marleen.
Thank you, Vivienne. Have a beautiful day.
You too. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.